Bangladesh's outgoing chief advisor Mohammad Yunus made an outrageous comment on Northeast. In his farewell speech, he blurred political boundaries by grouping India's northeastern states with sovereign countries, a formulation that is likely to draw attention in New Delhi amid already strained India-Bangladesh ties. In a televised speech a day before stepping down, Yunus said Bangladesh's foreign policy under his 18-month tenure restored three core pillars: sovereignty, national interest and dignity, and declared that the country was no longer submissive or guided by other nations' directives.
খোলা সমুদ্র কেবল ভৌগোলিক সীমারেখা নয়, এটি বাংলাদেশের জন্য বিশ্ব অর্থনীতির সঙ্গে যুক্ত হওয়ার উন্মুক্ত দরজা। নেপাল, ভুটান ও সেভেন সিস্টার্সকে নিয়ে এই অঞ্চলে অর্থনৈতিক সমৃদ্ধির বিশাল সম্ভাবনা রয়েছে। অর্থনৈতিক অঞ্চল, বাণিজ্যিক চুক্তি ও শুল্কমুক্ত বাজারে প্রবেশের সুযোগের মধ্য দিয়ে এই অঞ্চলে একটি বৈশ্বিক উৎপাদন কেন্দ্র হিসেবে গড়ে ওঠার শক্তিশালী ভিত্তি প্রতিষ্ঠিত হবে।
And this is not the first time he has done it. Mohammad Yunus, in fact, invoked India's northeastern seven sister states alongside Nepal and Bhutan while outlining a sub-regional economic vision. And this is not the first time he has done this. Even in the past, he has repeatedly attempted to portray seven sisters as part of separate entity, often grouping them with Nepal and Bhutan. At this time, by framing the Northeast as a separate economic entity, Yunus is signaling a very hard anti-India Bangladeshi outlook. And that is the most important aspect of it. On this issue, I am joined by Ambassador Veena Sikri, former High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, Barrister Mohibul Hasan Chaudhry, former Education Minister, Bangladesh, and Salahuddin Shoaib Chaudhry, editor Blitz, Bangladesh. So why did he make this comment? Mr. Chaudhry, why did he make this comment?
For this Yunus, actually Yunus is I have been consistently telling that Yunus is the worst of the worst person. He's a monster. So before leaving the office, because you may know that he is still in Dhaka, he is not being allowed to leave the country, and he tries to create more trouble for the BNP government now, because he is no more, Yunus is gone, BNP is in power. So at the last moment, he also tried to create a big trouble for the BNP government. Before going forward to this matter, sir, I would like to humbly draw your kind attention to another matter, very important, that a Hindu killer named Mahdi Hassan, who was spotted in Habiganj district in Bangladesh, threatening the police officer of burning the police station, he is now in India. He is now in Delhi, India, waiting for Portuguese visa. I have already posted it, all details on the Twitter, and I would like to humbly request you to please bring this matter to the attention of the Indian authorities, because this Hindu killer, Mehdi Hassan, who is a disciple of Yunus, how he entered India with a visa and how he is still in New Delhi. I mean, he must be arrested immediately. And now going back to your question about Yunus, this Yunus, he made so many efforts of staying in power. Even this morning, Her Excellency is also aware that he wanted BNP to sign the paper for the Constitutional Reform Council and to take oath, double oath, as a member of parliament and member of Constitutional Reform Council. BNP outrightly rejected that, saying that this is taking oath for the Constitutional Reform Council is illegal, unconstitutional. And BNP has not taken any oath for that Constitutional Reform Council. And for your kind information, this morning, there is a writ petition with the Bangladesh Supreme Court challenging the referendum, and there is a big possibility that within 2 or 3 days, this referendum, which was also held on the 12th of February, will be declared null and void or illegal. So Yunus is in big trouble, and anticipating his troubles, he made this statement about the Indian northeastern state, because he understands any time from now, I repeat, any time from now, Yunus will be arrested in Bangladesh by the BNP government because BNP has already started investigation into his financial irregularities and, quote, anti-Bangladesh activities, unquote.
Ambassador Sikri, I mean, so there's one thing is that the Yunus gets arrested, but the other thing is, why is he saying this again and again? I think that we need to send out a strong signal that, this is unacceptable.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for having me on your show. And I think that Yunus is doing exactly what he was doing the last 18 months. He was completely anti-Indian. He was trying to stir the pot. And his repeated references to Northeast India is only to do one thing, to encourage the Northeast Indian insurgent groups to come back to Bangladesh, just as when they were there before Sheikh Hasina was Prime Minister between 2001, 2006. So he's trying to encourage them that you come here, we'll get you support here. And in fact, there were rumors of Paresh Bhaurav and others having turned up in Bangladesh at some point in the last 18 months. So he is continuously trying to stir the pot, and he's doing it at China's behest in a big way. I think we have to take a very strong notice of it. And now, of course, we will be talking to Tarique Rahman as the new Prime Minister of Bangladesh. And it is remarkable how the vote in Bangladesh, and I think this is one of the most remarkable phenomenon in recent times, that the vote in Bangladesh has really shown the door to Jamaat-e-Islami and to Mohammed Yunus. Because this is the amazing part. For the last 18 months, the Jamaat-e-Islami was the power behind the throne. They were running everything in Bangladesh. They, tried to, even they introduced Sharia law in their manifesto. They stopped women from going to work. Women going in auto rickshaws to work was stopped. And so why are you going out without an escort? So women were very, very unhappy. We saw the condition of the minorities, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Christians, the Sufis and Ahmadiyas, all in very terrible condition, and all because the Jamaat-e-Islami wanted it that way. So finally, in the vote, the people were even promising Jamaat-e-Islami, yes, we'll go and vote for you. But when they went to the ballot box, they voted against Jamaat-e-Islami. This is a remarkable phenomenon. And our friends in Bangladesh are the people of Bangladesh. And today, Tarique Rahman, as Prime Minister, representing the people of Bangladesh, I'm sure he'll take note of this vote. And he will know that the security interests of India are very important, as much for Bangladesh as for India. So I think that we have two big important issues which we will discuss with Tarique Rahman's government, and we must congratulate him on this outstanding 2/3 majority that he has got. And I think one is the security aspect, and the other is the economy itself. Because that's the second thing that Mohammed Yunus tried to do, to destroy the economic cooperation between India and Bangladesh. And in the process of doing that, hundreds of Bangladesh factories shut down. Hundreds and thousands of women working in these factories were without a job. So they were even more unhappy with the situation. And I think that today, the way in which Tarique Rahman and the Bangladesh Nationalist Party has refused to take oath as members of the Constitutional Reform Council, as just explained by Mr. Salahuddin Sohib Chaudhary, this is a very significant move, because they really are negating everything that the Jamaat-e-Islami and Yunus were trying to do for the last 18 months. They are trying to change the constitution through the Constitutional Reform Council. They have created these 84 points which they put into a referendum,
Yes.
divided into 4 subsectors, and they've got maybe a yes vote of 60%, but 40% have said no. And basically nobody in Bangladesh wants the constitution to be changed. So even today, Prime Minister Tarique Rahman has been sworn in on the constitution of Bangladesh. He's been sworn in as Prime Minister on the Constitution of Bangladesh. So his first allegiance is to the Constitution of Bangladesh. And according to that, he is absolutely correct in saying that there is no provision for Constitution Reform Council. There's no provision for changing the Constitution through a
Okay.
referendum.
Okay.
All that will be done is in Parliament, these issues will be discussed, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, so are we saying, Shoaib, are we saying that the sort of referendum that has been done goes to the dustbin? There?
The referendum was introduced by Yunus to destroy the secular fabric of Bangladesh and to ultimately turn Bangladesh into a caliphate. One more important thing, Yunus has done another mischief before leaving the office. Yunus has allowed 11 members of Lashkar-e-Taiba, I'm saying it on record, and I have all the evidences in my hand. Yunus has let 11 members of Lashkar-e-Taiba enter Bangladesh 2 days ago. They are still in Dhaka city. Yunus wants those Lashkar-e-Taiba people to be arrested when he left the office, so that the allegation is put on BNP government. And even you were mentioning about Paresh Barua. Paresh Barua is also in Chittagong. I repeat, Paresh Barua is also in Chittagong. So Yunus has made so many traps for BNP, starting from the Constitutional Reform Council to Lashkar-e-Taiba to Paresh Barua and many other terrorist training camps inside Bangladesh operated by the Pakistani ISI, because Yunus wants BNP to earn an instant bad name from India at the very first hour, so that India and there is a distrust between India and Tarique Rahman. And as Her Excellency is saying, Tarique Rahman is an elected prime minister. We have elected BNP, voted BNP to power, and that exactly Yunus does not want. Yunus wants to immediately malign the BNP government so that he can make another meticulous plot against BNP government. In the similar way, he has done with against the Sheikh Hasina government.
Okay.
So the massive conspiracy.
Okay. We are also being joined by Professor Swaran Singh. Let me tell you that there's a tweet. Tarique Rahman has tweeted, just concluded a constructive meeting with Prime Minister of Bangladesh. I have handed over a personal letter from Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveying, this has been tweeted by Om Birla. So Om Birla has tweeted, he has tagged Tarique Rahman, and I had handed over a personal letter from Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveying his wishes to Mr. Rahman and inviting him to visit India at the earliest convenience. Ambassador Sikri.
This will be an excellent move. If Prime Minister Tarique Rahman comes to India, it will be an excellent move, because Mohammed Yunus made no interest and no effort to visit India. He refused every overture and he was anti-Indian to the core. I'm so glad that a formal invitation has been given to Prime Minister Tarique Rahman, and he will soon be in India. That will be very, very good news indeed.
Okay. Professor Swaran Singh, a lot of things are happening in Bangladesh. I mean, it's just like a pot boiler, but the good thing is that at least there is one party in power. Jamaat has not come to power. That the worst case scenario has not happened. But there is one thing. Yunus continues to make a lot of anti-India statements. And I don't want to sound extremely hawkish, but they are in very, very poor taste. He holds a constitutional position.
I think clearly he could have decided to, go keeping a certain amount of grace about his office, which apparently he did not use that opportunity, and not to refer to India as a largest important neighbor, but talk about seven sisters, talking about having access to China, Europe, and so on, was in perhaps not in good taste, particularly after BNP now has an absolute majority in Parliament. Hopefully they will have a very stable government for next 5 years. And in case he wanted any favors from BNP, that was perhaps not the way. Pandering to radical nationalist sentiment and indicating indirectly his India problem in that sense, or anti-India slant, was perhaps not in very good taste, definitely. But he's a pass now. I think he is not someone who's very relevant. I understand that India has already extended formal invitation to Prime Minister Tarique Rahman. Though he may not be in a hurry, I think he's playing his cards very cautiously. If you follow his language so far, he's talking about ensuring balance in foreign relations.
Yes.
Bangladesh first. So his first focus will be anxieties at home, inflation, price rise, whole lot of problems. And of course, Jamaat is already pushing, asking for recounting in certain constituencies and so on. I think domestic agenda will be writ large on his psyche right now. But I assume that, if he's talking about keeping a great balanced foreign policy, he could understand the reality, and hopefully will have his first visit to India, as most elected leaders of Bangladesh have showcased. And in that sense, I think it's a good gesture that India not only congratulated him very quickly and now has sent a formal invitation. India has made all the right gestures, and so far his response has been cautious but positive. So I am assuming that reset is going to happen in the relationships compared to what we saw in last 18 months.
Okay, Ambassador Sikri, you wanted to come in?
Yeah, I wanted to say yes. Prime Minister Tarique Rahman does have a Bangladesh first foreign policy, but actually this goes very well. It synergizes with India's neighborhood first foreign policy, because I think the combination of Bangladesh first foreign policy and India's neighborhood first foreign policy has great potential to work out a good relationship between Bangladesh and India. And I can give an example of the economy that everybody is talking about, because everybody knows the economy has gone into a real tailspin. And even the World Bank is talking about 3 million more people falling into poverty this year. Yeah. And many more millions have fallen into poverty in 2025 as well. So the only way to bring the Bangladesh economy out of the doldrums is to rekindle the economic cooperation between Bangladesh and India, which Mohammed Yunus himself had stopped. He had changed rules and you cannot go by the land port. So the Bangladesh exporters were obliged to take a much longer route and delays in completing their exports, which lost them the market, and they could not get their imports from India on time.
Actually, I think, ma'am, biggest signal would be one will have to see whether he comes to India and then goes to China, or whether he's going to keep them separately, keep a different timeline. In diplomacy, the global politics, these timings and these signals are very important. Prime Minister sent Lok Sabha Speaker. Invitation has been sent to Prime Minister Tarique Rahman. We will have to wait and see what he makes of that invitation. I think we have done our bit. Thank you all of you for joining me on this show. This was on point 2.